We are.
All right.
Welcome, my
Magic,
guests.
okay.
That's right, welcome guests here to Black Star, Still Rising. And I am your host and executive producer, Stephen Silver Black Butterfly Carter. Glad to have you folks here, and we're sponsored by the Black Star Project in memory of Philip Jackson, the founder of the Black Star Project. And the ongoing part of Black Star is Gloria Smith, the executive director, and those lovely people there at the Black Star Project. Cannot go any further, cannot go a step further without giving praise to the studio producers, Imani Payne and Rocio Santos. Thank you so much for keeping the program going well, for being such great producers, etc. Got to give a shout out to the associate producers, Dr. Mike Washington and Ellis Taylor, who keep me going, keep me straight, and get our guests together too.
Absolutely.
As usual, we're going to have an exciting program.
I think so.
An exciting. Oh, you know so too.
I said I think so. I hope
no,
so.
I think so too. Exciting. You're going to meet a little bit in a minute. Inez Kelly, Kelley, who has some exciting things, an exciting background. I can tell you this much: she'd be a native New Yorker. Did I say that? No, did I
Yes,
say York?
sir.
Did I say
New York? New York.
Court?
New York.
Car? Okay. You're going to
New
keep
York.
me straight. You lost a lot of your accent. You
I
know
know,
that.
but I
People tell
haven't
you
picked
that?
up Chicago. I haven't picked up D.C. because I've lived in D.C. also. I think kind of moderates between the spaces.
Well, let me tell you a little bit that I know, but I'm going to leave this to tell you more about Inez, because we have a SAR here. We have a SAR of chest. She won't admit it yet, because she's been in so many dynamic things over her life, into flipping houses
Yes,
and
sir.
other things that were exciting. And
Yes, sir.
now she is going to be the SAR of chess sports. Inez, come on, tell me a little bit about the chess program
thank
and
you.
the name of it, first of all.
Thank you so much. First of all, thank you for having me, and of course, absolutely thank you to Black Star. Yes.
Gloria recommended you highly, so got a thanks
Oh, wow.
to Gloria.
That alone that seals the deal, right?
Seals the deal.
All right.
Yes.
But I am Inez Kelly, and I am
You are the founder.
I am the founder.
You are the
president.
and
the founder, the president.
Star. That's
Well, you've given me
CZAR.
you've given me czar.
I'm giving you a title.
Right. So
But you earned it.
But okay, all right. Well, I'm still working on it, and but I am the president at this stage. I am the president of the United States Master Chess
Say
League.
that again.
The
United States Master Chess League.
That is the USMCL.
Let me put this in context for our viewers. Your folks out at the Atlas Center and at Crocs, who are listeners, she is the star of the equivalent of when the AFL and the NFL came together. She is bringing sports to chess,
Right.
and not how you think of chess, but she's going to tell you the difference.
We're trying to
Go
take it
ahead.
we're trying to take it to a whole new space. So yes, the
That's
element
a breath.
the element of chess. The element of sport in chess.
That's
and
hard to think about, but come on, break it down
well,
first.
basically to elevate the game of chess. And so when we look at chess, we look at it as an individual sport. You know,
Okay.
the guys or young ladies play. One plays against the other candidate. But for the USMCL, our ideal is to create the sport element.
Look at my audience.
Yeah.
Wave at the people at Crocs. Wave back. People at Atlas, way back.
Yes,
Okay, yes.
yes.
Okay.
So the idea is to make sure that we bring that team element. And the team element is that for each team, we consist of 4 teams currently. 2
4.
are right here in Chicago.
What's the name of the teams?
We have the Chicago Kings and the Windy City Hawks.
Okay.
And so the idea is to, with these 2 team elements, to create the element of competition and team sports. And so we find that with that, we're able to also include spectatorship.
Okay.
Okay, so you don't think of chess as a spectator sport, but it is, in fact, a spectator sport. In fact, most of chess players watch chess. And since the pandemic, you have a lot of online chess, and you have the audience there. But we also found that chess players will come out and watch other chess players compete.
I can remember back in, if you're not old enough to remember this, but the Bobby Fischer days, from him being on TV. And I think he was a native New Yorker too, right?
Okay.
And he made chess much more prominent.
Yes.
And that has gone on to tell me more about that, because you told me some things that I might wish I had gone to school for chess.
Well, I think when it comes to, okay, so let me back up. My position in organizing the league is in the strategy of creating and building the infrastructure. So chess itself, and I've learned a lot because we've been doing this for the past 3 years.
Okay.
So you learn a lot in terms of the language, the lingo, the atmosphere.
Are you a chess master yet?
Yeah.
No, just
You've
had other things
and
to
listen,
do.
I respect the guys in the game. So and the young ladies. Let's not forget the young ladies.
Okay.
So I respect the game. I'm not a chess player,
You're not a
although I
player,
do know how to
yeah.
play chess. I do know how to play, but I am in no way in
Okay.
that space of competition. So my lane is in helping to create the platform, helping to create the infrastructure that will allow these players to come in and to elevate not just their game, but access to
Well,
opportunity.
you are a professional on this because you're doing things on a level that the NFL and the AFL thought about, but took them years to do. But now you're bringing this right. You're bringing it right to the people now. You're
Yes.
talking about it to the people audience
Yeah.
too. Yes.
So even when you think about football, and football is actually the blueprint that I studied in when the thought came to mind to pull this together. Football was the blueprint. Now, the thing is that it took football decades to
Yes.
get to where they are.
Almost a century.
Exactly.
If you go back to Hallis. Go ahead.
Exactly. And so you mentioned the AFC and the NFC
NFL,
and then the
right.
merger of the NFL, but that came really after certain principals saw the opportunity of what that means to create that sport element. But it was almost from 1920, before that, I guess 1878, somewhere in that space and time. So when you think about that to where they are now, that football didn't start making the money that they make
Oh, for
now
sure.
until almost the early 1960s. And that didn't happen until after contracts with TV and ticket sales and
That
things
made
of
the
that
difference,
nature. Right, that made the difference. Before that, they were struggling. They were struggling, big time. In fact, they were second to college football.
Football. Okay.
Yeah, so the idea was to, number one, create those teams, put certain rules in place that allowed each team to grow in their own space, so that, in other words, they weren't bidding for each other's players, because, of course,
They're controlling those contracts.
right, controlling the contracts,
Right.
which is another thing.
Non-competitive, but good anyway, go ahead.
No, you're right. The non-compete, and so all of those elements, first of all, gave football the structure in which to build.
So you
Okay.
got a business model, somewhat, plus you're
Yes.
adding your own spin on what this model. Tell me how do you make this a spectator sport?
Well, I was just going to say, so yes, even though I have that blueprint, the idea of football versus chess, they're two completely different sports. Even though we do say chess is a sport, the chess athlete is an athlete. Go.
You told me a little bit about it. Tell me what an athlete in chess has to do. You told me about three things that are so similar to a football player or a basketball player. Tell me about that.
I think in any sport, especially if you're at the top of your game, that determination, the focus, the commitment to the game, the study. I mean, these guys study openings and the time that it takes and the discipline to even sit way back you were talking about Bobby Fischer, but that was back in the days when, a chess game could go 12 hours into the next day. People took their time. Nowadays you have the blitz, you have the bullet, you have other faster paced games.
You see him slapping down the timer.
Right, and to be able to calculate all of the moves that could possibly happen in a game in a specific amount of time or a short period of time, that takes discipline, and then still win the game. And so most of them don't win by happenstance.
I got to move in chess, right? My pawn from what's named the king. That's
the only move.
I got a few more after that.
Okay.
I'll move the rook around.
Well, we have to get you a jersey. We have to get you out there. We gotta put you
I gotta go beyond that pawn in the opening move.
Listen,
and the gambits and stuff.
I cannot complain because like I said, I'm familiar with how the pieces move, but I do not play chess, not for real.
So I might be able to beat you.
You might be able to, and I would not be mad at that. I would not be mad at that. I would not be mad at that, not at all. Because, for me, it's not about playing the game. It's about having the respect for the game and respect for the chess players and the hard work that they do to achieve the level of chess
you
for
talked
them
about
to
the
focus.
discipline,
right?
And the stamina that it takes.
Yes.
You said there used to be, but talk about the history and how many millions of folks are involved in chess all over the world, and the potential audience that you have.
Well, one of the things when I speak to audiences about chess, the biggest thing is how do you make this a spectator?
Okay.
But the challenge is not so much making it a spectator sport, because it is a spectator sport. If you look at some of the tournaments online, if you look at online chess, you're going to see how many views, how many people actually come out and participate. It's really about how do you take that and capture it and harness it into a space that my thought is consistent. And that consistency is a designated, regulated team in the same way that you have football. And you have people who are they are in alliance with a team. If their team loses, they're upset. If their team wins, so you can
sell jerseys and stuff too.
Jerseys, tickets.
What's this jersey gonna look like?
Well, if you look online, our jerseys, we have the jerseys. I wish we could have put them up on screen.
Is that gonna be next time here?
Yeah, we could do that.
We could do
that. Yes, if you go to the website, you're gonna see the jerseys.
Tell our audience what folks at the Atlas Center on 79th and Quigere and the Kroc Center on 103rd, I think. Tell them how to be in touch with you, because there's some interesting things that for entrepreneurs.
Exactly.
We're not going to talk about really commercial, but there are opportunities. And please tell us now, tell our audience now how to be in contact with you about some things that you're going to be covering in this program.
Okay. Well, you can visit our website at www.usmcl.org.
I'm going to ask you to repeat it, and we're going to do it at the end. Right, get your pencil and paper down. I forgot to remind you, pencil and paper. Viva voce. Be prepared to pass this on, because there might be some money opportunities for people who are interested in chess.
Yes, we have a combine coming up in February, so even if you want to register to participate.
What's a combine?
Well, combine is similar to a qualifier, for football. So you come out and we'll select a team. Our team consists of
Who are some of the players? Who are the players in Chicago here?
Okay, so I know if you're a chess enthusiast, I know you are familiar with Thomas Murphy.
Oh, Tom?
Yes.
I don't know him, but
you know what?
but I know he's going to be famous. Going to be the tip of my tongue from now on.
Okay.
Tell me about old Tom.
Tom Murphy. Okay. There's also Cedric Prude.
Cedric Prude?
Yes. And they make up the Chicago Kings. And the Windy City.
That's two people.
Right.
On one team. Okay, go ahead.
Right, two. But we're looking 2025. We're looking to have three.
Three teams?
Per team. No, 3 individuals per team.
Okay.
Okay, so the Windy City Hawks. The Windy City Hawks would be Remy Adekola and
Remy Adekola. That sounds like an African name, is it?
He is Nigerian. He is Nigerian.
Okay.
Yes, and Andrew Bell.
Okay.
Okay.
And it leads up to, you were talking about some international stuff. Tell us a little bit about what your plans are, Sarah.
So
You saw. Go ahead, accept
Okay.
it. Go ahead.
So what we have going on is with the league itself. So the league is a season. We just finished our first season, 2024. So as I said, we have the 2025 season beginning with the combine in February, and we'll get the
Okay.
details out for that. That's why you want to go to USMCL.org to get all of the details. But after the final game or match, we are introducing an international league. So we have 5 countries.
Did you say international, like meaning other countries?
Well, for right now,
Madam
it's just
Sarr?
one. It's just one continent, 5 countries in one continent, Africa.
Okay.
And so I don't want to get too ahead of myself right
I
now
shouldn't tell
because.
people- I shouldn't
Well,
tell
no, I
people.
do want to put it out there because I want I want folks to know that that's what's coming. And we're excited about that because the opportunity for the masters here in the States to play against the African team that will be coming here. And
No,
that,
where
that
do
will
they
be in
play
August.
locally? If I wanted to watch one of these matches, especially with the combine coming up, where would we go? Where do they go now and play? It's not out in the park.
No,
Okay.
no. We play, all of our matches are played live. Okay, and I want to say that our partner, we have just recently partnered with ID Chess, and anyone who's in the chess game who does not know about ID Chess, you need to know about
It's a
ID
few
Chess.
of us. How many? It's a few out there.
There's a few.
Tell them what the ID
Well, we are
is.
trying to make sure that you know about ID Chess. Reason being is because it's great to play online, but like anything else, when you play and you're in the same atmosphere, so if you play live or in person, the ID Chess is an app that will allow you to scan your board, and it digitizes it.
Okay.
So it digitizes it.
When you
so
say
now
your board, that's the player?
that's the player's board. So if we were
Okay.
playing chess here live, we can use the app, use your phone, the app, scan the board, and it will digitize your board, and then you can throw that out to any platform.
Are there referees and stuff with this?
Within the app, they do have
Because I want to apply to
arbiter.
be a
It's an
referee.
arbiter. In chess, it's an arbiter.
Arbiter.
So
Do they
not a
get paid?
referee. Sometimes.
I want to be the
You want to be the one that gets paid.
all the time. Yeah.
Now, not on the app. Now, the app has a program that is an arbiter, so it will let you know if it's an illegal move or something to that effect.
Oh, they got
but
stuff that's illegal?
They got illegal in everything.
Like,
It's illegal
do they
in
throw a
everything,
yellow
you
flag
know.
out when that happens? or what?
You know what? We've never had that happen, so I guess I don't know, but I'm sure there's some
That's
way to
probably a
stop the
first.
game in order to make sure that was an illegal move. But an arbiter is similar
Okay.
to a referee
Okay.
in chess. So it's exciting. It really is, and I know that chess sounds like it's just. It's if you're not really in it, it could be boring or loathsome or long, but it actually is exciting when you're able to allow yourself to get into the board and then get into the competition.
Well, tell us a little bit about how the intergenerational folks down at the Black Star Project are involved, because I think you're doing something with them to expose some of the students and some of the people at the Black Star to some of the programs.
Well, we're hoping to work with them to develop a program that will have instruct the youth.
Okay.
As in anything, we're hoping that we're able to encourage the youth to continue to play. One of the things.
What does that do for you? Is that for critical thinking?
Yes,
or-
critical thinking, discipline, thought. Troubleshooting, problem solving, all of those things are important to developing a young mind, especially in this day and age where everything is so instant and the response to everything is so immediate, and that first response is always, going all the way out rather than knowing how to incrementally move into spaces that will help to develop.
I'm going to have you share with our viewers something that I was blown away back. And I think it'll be something that our viewers want to know. Tell me about the kind of monies that professional, if I can call it that, professional chess players have made. Blow me away, blow the audience
Well,
away.
first of all, absolutely, you want to call them professional chess players. These
Okay.
are professionals in every way when it comes to their work ethic, okay, and the competition. But in compared to other sports, I think that the difference in terms of the money is the fact that the spectatorship level of football versus chess is very different, and we go at it differently. You have one of the largest, I guess you can say the top chess enthusiasts.
Okay.
Right. So Magnus Carlsen is probably your highest rated Magnus Carlsen.
Oh, you blow me away now.
And if you can imagine a network of 50 million. Now compare that to football and basketball and baseball.
A network of 50 million.
Yes.
And that's over continents.
Right. When you say continent, you talk about in terms of play.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the return is just not. The return is just not the same. But then, of course, the spectatorship is not the same. You don't have people buying T-shirts with Magnus Carlsen on it. Right, But that's what we look to change. So, and I think that if you bring people in as spectators and you make it enjoyable, okay, one of the things for us, our events are set up just like any sports event, where you have the national anthem, where we have music, we have food, we have engagement.
Are you saying that we're going to have these folks sitting down here getting ready to face each other across the table and the national anthem?
Well, it has its time. You have the national, like, you don't sing the national anthem while they're playing football, so you have the national anthem before the matches.
They're going to do both anthems, the black national anthem too? Or is that just...
We do the right now. We do the national anthem because we are a national sport.
Yes.
And so if, as in any sport, we have a special event or a special something that will call for that, we'll do that. We had from the Battle of the Masters, which was another event that we had in New York, and that was the African players, the American African players versus the American players, and we had both anthems played. We had the African Union national anthem, and then we had the national anthem here. So we're inclusive of everyone, but we're building, and we keep in mind that we are a business. We are an organization. We are developing this league for the purpose of being able to have chess players to think of chess as a career. And so with all of the youth that are playing, and they aspire to have higher ratings, but where do they go from there? So most chess players fall off the grid. They fall off the grid, so to speak, because what else do you do with it? If you're going for a higher rating, it's going to cost money. It costs money to travel. It costs money to enter these tournaments. Everybody doesn't always win. But if there is a league, in the same way baseball players, basketball players, they go to college and they aspire to then join the league to make a career. We want to make it so that chess players are able to make a career out of the investment that they've made in the game.
What's so obvious and what brought me to welcome you here was the vision that you have. You're sharing part of this vision. There's probably room for investors if they want to help build the league, etc., or build your program.
There's a lot of space for investors, okay? There's a lot of space for investors.
What number should they reach you at again?
312-599-5326.
Hold it. There's a couple people out there who haven't put up their pencil and paper.
Take your time to
get your pencil and paper. Viva voce. Get ready to pass this on. You ready?
312 599 5326.
5326. Write that down, because you're going to be able to get some very valuable information about that. And if not, you better call Black Star, because there might be some things happening down to Black Star, so we can get some of these young entrepreneurs. Black Star is doing some entrepreneurship things that you should be in contact with them about and seeing what's happening in your neighborhood. And now we have chess to it now.
Chess. And even in the building of the league, we're looking at the entrepreneurial opportunities. Okay, it takes a lot to build a league.
This is a concept that's blowing my mind.
Yeah, it's not a team. It's so there are a lot of pieces that have to come together to make this happen, and it takes a lot of money too.
And you're not just putting all your money in there. You want to get some other monies too, right?
Exactly. We want to make this a collective. But no, seriously, that, in the same
Oh, I know
way.
we're serious about the money. I'm serious.
Absolutely serious, yes.
Right.
But the return is what you're looking at, the return, because this creates jobs. It brings revenue into communities. And when you mentioned about where we have our events, we've had our event this season. We had it at the Salute Center, okay? And so when you bring the element of this event along with the people that come out, people spend money in those spaces.
And it's not expensive in terms. Do you have to have special tennis shoes for playing chess?
Come as you are, as long as you're covered.
As you covered from the waist on up, or what?
Just to be
Yeah, we
covered.
had to talk about
that's
that.
all we ask.
Okay.
But other than that, come on out.
Can we kind
have
of
a
build
great time.
some chess tennis shoes and folks that
That's
stick
a great,
their
but
head?
that's what we hope to do between the merchandise, because in the same way that you have people following football players, you have chess enthusiasts, and you mentioned about we didn't even get a chance to talk about the 640 million chess players around the world.
I was trying to get you
and
to say
12
that.
million that plays every 24 hours on chess.com. So if we just start with the chess enthusiasts, 1% of 1% gets us where we need
You
to
a
go.
numbers
And so
cruncher,
when
too.
yes, absolutely. You got to look at the numbers to make it work. Always look at your numbers. You got to do
We're
your
so
numbers
happy
and
to
your price
have you
point.
out. You were so surprised to have somebody on chess and the kind of things that are happening. You folks at the Crocs, at the Atlas, I hope you wrote down this information.
Yes.
And I think they do a lot of chess playing at the Atlas Center too. But so glad to have you out. So glad to have
Thank you for having me.
here,
I do
Inez, here
appreciate
today.
it.
And we got to have you back because I know there's going to be some questions. Call in 312-662-3106. That's my number. If you need to get in contact with Inez, I can lead you to her. And thank you for coming on. Inez, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Black.